When you sell your house, one thing that you're thinking about is how soon am I going to get paid? Especially if you're buying another one or you just want to see that money. Now let me tell you, when you're selling your house, there's a ton of different variables that are going to come into when you actually get paid. But the typical time frame for putting it on the market to getting it closed and getting a check in your hand is about 30 days. That's time for the title company to do their work, for the lender, for the buyer to do their work. And when you sit down and sign, that's when everything comes together and the money changes hands. That's what closing day means. Now, once you've signed, actually getting the money in your hand could take 2 to 3 hours, usually at the soonest, and it could take as much as a day to get the actual money in your bank account after that. Now, once you've got that money in your hand, there's a possibility that some of that is not yours. Now, the common rules around taxes are going to be rooted in some of the federal tax laws around capital gains and then your specific situation. If you sell a house within the first 2 years of ownership, you could be subject to capital gains tax. You're going to need to talk to your CPA or a licensed tax professional about this. I am not one. Now, the gains that you have on that particular property could be taxed at 15%, and they're going to compile with the rest of your tax situation. Again, that's why you want to talk to your professional. Now, let's say the proceeds for your house are $260,000. There is a threshold of $250,000 in proceeds for a single person and $500,000 in proceeds for a married couple, where inside that amount, you wouldn't owe any tax. Anything over and above, you could be taxed at a capital gains, regardless of how long you've owned the house. So make sure you talk to that tax professional about it. There can be some delays in getting you paid within that common 30-day window. Usually, those delays are going to come from the lender of the buyer. Sometimes a lender is not real familiar with the time frame that's needed to get a loan closed, or they could have underwriters in their process that are out of state and harder to get a hold of. One great way to make sure that you don't have delays in getting you paid is making sure that your selling agent is vetting out the other side's lender and making sure that there's open communication about timeframes. Nobody wants surprises. Now that's something that your selling agent can guide you through. So now that's how soon you could get paid if you chose to sell your house. But remember, you're the one that's in charge of your future.